Hello, warriors. Welcome to the U Movement. I am B, and we are here in my kitchen. I have had a couple people ask me about what I eat and my diet plan and how I lost over 130 pounds and cured my diabetes and cured my irritable bowel syndrome and cured my leaky gut and cured my candida overgrowth. So I have done videos in the past on sugar and candida. Please check those out in the food and sugar playlist. Otherwise, they're probably also in the body playlist. When I started at the beginning, I used to make a breakfast called the Breakfast for Spiritual Warriors. Now I have that in the food playlist. Please go check that out if you're just starting out and you're wanting something a little heavier in your stomach. Over the time, I've taken that breakfast and I've transitioned it into a smoothie. So my breakfast we're going to make here and now, and I'm going to talk you through why because I've altered the ingredients a little bit. I started in the Spiritual Warriors breakfast and moved into the Spiritual Warriors smoothie. So first up, I'm going to go into my freezer. Excuse me here. So I have packaged all my frozen ingredients into one giant Tupperware here that I keep in the ready here. So you can see here, I've got my pre-program. So what this blend is a mix of frozen berries because we want the frozen berries as our main fruit that we consume. One, because berries are very low on the glycemic index list. Because we need to pay attention if we're trying to lose weight and we're trying to clear out the candida to have as low glycemic, so that's your sugar count. So sugars, when you quit sugar, you're not just quitting sugar, you're quitting anything that turns into sugar into your body. So that means all those high carbohydrates become sugar in your body. And so we need to reduce the glycemic load as much as possible. So you can download a glycemic index list of foods, and I recommend eating off of the greens list. So there's a green, an orange, and a red list. The green list is green light, go, low glycemic load, eat as much of that as you want. The orange list is occasional, kind of once in a blue moon, you might want to treat yourself to like a sweet potato or something like that. And then the reds list is like, don't do that. Just don't. And there's going to be a lot of your favorite foods on that list. And you're going to be like, what am I supposed to eat? You're supposed to eat the greens list, okay? And when I say greens list, I don't mean like green things. I mean green, the list is green, orange, red. Just like go, warning, stop. So berries are antioxidants, which is going to help us in so many ways, boosting our immune system and all of that to help detoxify all the stuff that we don't want in our system out of the system. In this mix as well of berries, because you can buy a big bag of frozen mixed berries, I've added a bag of cranberries into the mix because cranberries are particularly good for your kidneys. And where our kidneys, if we are in a state that we're trying to clear out all the gut, that means our kidneys and our liver is working overtime to help detoxify. Because what happens when you start killing off the candida is you will get sick. You will experience die-off. And so what die-off is when the candida or parasites or fungus or anything else in your gut that's out of balance and out of whack, all the little itty-bitty things in there that you don't want in there. Sorry, that's going off. When they die, they're floating around in you dead, and then they go poof, and they release toxins, and that's gross. And so those toxins then get into your bloodstream because your blood's trying to like clear this stuff out. So we want to clear them out as quickly as possible. is what we need to do. Otherwise, you're going to get sick, and those toxins float through your bloodstream, and then you get what's called is like a healing response. So you go from, oh, I'm feeling good, I'm going to do this diet, and then I feel miserable. My sinuses are congested. I've got a cough. I'm feeling achy. I'm feeling miserable. So we want to assist our liver, and we do that by, and I don't have my water bottle with me, but I always have also in my freezer on the go is pre-cut up lemons and limes. So I buy those organic and get them every time I have water. Just throw one of these guys in, and you will help detoxify your system. So we want as much detox action happening. The cranberries will help the urinary tract system, kidneys, the ureter, the bladder, all of that. So if you also have a tendency to have UTIs, urinary tract infections, and or any type of cystitis, cranberries should be your go-to. Also, I have frozen avocado in here. I used to get avocado, obviously fresh, but the problem is they all go off at the same time, and then you end up throwing out a lot of avocado. So I've discovered that you can get pre-cut avocados, and so I do that. And there we go. So I have my blender here, and I'm going to just throw in like 3 of those, so that like a nice cupful. I'm going to do one more of that now. So that's where we start with that. So that's all the frozen ingredients, and then we can just, they're easy to go. It's easily prepared. One thing happening. Next we move to the fridge. Sorry, so we go into the fridge here, and this is what I eat. So this is the brand that I like. This is coconut-based yogurt with a little bit of natural vanilla flavor. So the sugar intake in this is 0. So you do check your yogurt. So if you are still consuming dairy, which I highly recommend you reconsider, and think on it, because especially if you have candida overgrowth, the dairy situation isn't going to help you. But if you, let's say you still are eating dairy, I would recommend getting a full fat, like high protein, plain yogurt, or something that's, got a vanilla, so it's unsweetened. You don't want any extra sugars hidden in your yogurt. Do be careful of anything that's called low fat. We don't want low fat. We want high fat, because if they take away the fat, they're replacing it with sweetener of some kind to make it taste good. So you want, this is unsweetened. This is a coconut based. You can get almond based ones. I would recommend staying away from the oat based ones. They're not very nice in flavor anyways, but so coconut or almond is an excellent alternative to give you all your probiotics. But as I said, if you are having regular dairy yogurt, I would aim for something over than 5%. I used to consume the 10%. They had a 10% one that was a full fat yogurt, and I'd have that every single day. You really want to focus on fat and probiotics. So you want fat. You don't want low fat, you want fat. You want the natural healthy fats. So either dairy, high fat, or if you're going for a vegan alternative, a non-dairy alternative. And if you're on the spectrum, be aware that you shouldn't be consuming dairy. Dairy and gluten are both recommended to be things that you're not consuming if you are on the autistic spectrum or have ADD or anything on the spectrum. It is advisable not to have those. So this is high in your probiotics, and your probiotics you need to help balance all of the little things that are in your gut. Okay, so we've got an imbalance. If you're overweight, you have an imbalance in your gut. we have an imbalance going on in our gut. We need to balance things properly. So as we're killing off the things we don't want, we want to feed the things we do want. We want to feed those things. So probiotics are going to feed the good bacteria, and that's what we want. So I'm going to just dump a good globule in there. I don't know, maybe that's about a half a cup in there. And so that's everything out of the fridge then. Next up, we're going to go into our dry ingredients, and I'm going to explain those as we go along. First up, I have a vegan all-in-one nutritional shake. So this is your protein powder, but it's not just protein powder, it's protein powder with a punch. So this is giving you all of your daily nutrients of everything that you could possibly need. There's no sugar added. It's sweetened with, again, a vanilla flavor that's palatable. There's different brands on the market. You can, I've tried different ones. This one's new that I'm trying. I used to use a Vega 1, but this one was a better price, and it's made in Canada. So I was happy about that. So this, as I said, has all kinds of proteins in it. And then it has on top of it greens in it. It has on top of that your vitamin loads. It has on top of that extra probiotics coming in from this. And it has all your vitamins and minerals. So I use from the scoop that they gave me. I use a slightly smaller scoop, to be honest, than their recommended daily dose, because I'm adding other things as well to this mix. So I've used a slightly smaller scoop than the one that they've provided, and that goes in there. And the reason why I use a slightly smaller scoop is because I add more punch to it. I want more punch, more bang for my buck. If I'm going to eat, I'm going to make sure I'm functionally eating the best nutrient dense food that I could possibly eat, and then it makes it worth its while. So I got its sister in action here, which is a vegan keto greens mix. Oh, sorry, I should have brought that other one up close for you so you can see it. So this is a greens mix. So this is adding even more greens and power to it. And the reason why we want the greens in this is because we have spirulina and we have chlorella and we have moringa powder in here. And all of those are binders. They're going to help bind all of that bacteria that we're killing off and help get it out of us. Okay, so we want some binders, natural binders. So these greens are going to help. So I use a full scoop of extra greens in there. So I'm getting a really heavy duty dose of those binder ingredients that's going to help detoxify me, as well as giving me all my nutrients, because you can see there's all kinds of good stuff in here, including ginger. And ginger is also going to help kill off some of that stuff. So we've got and milk thistle in here as well, that's going to help detoxify the liver. So we've got all kinds of good yummy ingredients in there. So that's going to help boost the power of the smoothie. We're not done yet. Okay, so then from the bulk food store, you can buy yourself whole flax seeds, whole, not pre-ground. If you get pre-ground flax seeds, it's going to lose some of its punch. It's going to lose some of its power. So you want whole flax seeds, and I use like a nice little scoop there that I've created, a nice good size. And this doesn't alter the flavor at all. They're very kind of flavorless. But this has all your omegas. So this is going to put more bang for your buck in there and increase your omegas. One thing I've noticed since I've started adding the flax seeds in, which is also an excellent source of, is it? Oh, something just flew through my head. Anyways, the omegas is my nail strength. I used to have paper fine nails, thin, and they're getting stronger. So if it's doing that for my nails, what's it doing to my insides? You know, what's it doing to my bones and my cartilage and everything else? It's doing great things. So nice little scoop of that in there. And then this is my blend here we have of some chia, as well as some hemp powder, or hemp hearts, whole hemp hearts. So I'm adding another little boost of protein into this through the hemp hearts and the chia. And the chia is going to help keep you regular. So if you, we want to clear the bowels as much as possible. So the chia is going to help you do that. So I just have, I don't know, like about a tablespoon-ish size, a little spoon here. And I'm going to add that in. Now be aware that when you consume chia, because it bulks everything, it's going to grab everything in your bowels and help clear your bowels out. So make sure you're consuming lots of water. And that you, if you have a tendency to lean into constipation, that you're taking some additional magnesium. I don't take a lot of supplements because all my supplements are in this breakfast. So I'm not spending hundreds of dollars on every supplement under the sun because I have this every single day. So I do. So, but the water you need to help with the chia, because the chia is going to bulk up and grab everything and help it clear its way out. We're not done yet. We're going to go over here and get some of my hefty coconut oil that you need to be consuming every single day. It's so incredibly good for you. It's antifungal, bacterial, and so this is going to kill that candida dead. Is what this is going to do, and we want to kill that candida dead. So we're going to grab in here, as well as it's giving us our healthy another bout of healthy fat. So a nice huge, maybe 2 tablespoons is what I'm putting in there. You can put in less if you want. A nice big dose of your coconut oil. And then we're going to go over here to my water filtration system that's here on my counter, which is one of the big, this one's made by Dalton. However, it is the comparable to the big Berkeley. However, when it comes to filtered water, I would recommend, and had it been on the market when I was looking, I would have gotten this instead, was a system by a company named Santivia. And they do a glass top one that I would have gotten that. But this one works great. You gotta have filtered water because not all your water is created equally, and do check to see if your township still puts, so I put a good bit of water in there, if your township still has fluoride in it, because we don't want to be consuming the fluoride. We want to be helping assist us. And those greens, if you have been consuming fluoride, these greens, we go back into here, these greens will help clear that out of your system and detoxify your system. This stuff is like super, super good. I'm sure there's cilantro in here or parsley, both of which are like poor man's heavy metal detox, by the way. So we're gonna put all of that in there, and then we're gonna zuzz it up and we're going to enjoy it. So that is my, shall I zuzz it? I don't want to zuzz it because it's going to be really, really loud. I can pause. Okay, that's the first time I've ever used the pause button, so that's kind of cool. So now you can see I've got this beautiful, it's, you know, a large amount, and that's my breakfast. Every single day is what I have. I just sip on that for the next little while. You don't need to make as much as all that if you don't want, but you know, that's my primary source of nutrition for the day. And as I move along, I will eat as I'm hungry. I eat this every single day. If I'm not going to eat this, because, you know, there are times where you're like, okay, I'm bored of that, I want something else, right? So breakfast becomes simplified when you have the same thing all the time. And simplification, if you're trying to lose weight, is very, very useful. And I'm going to have a sip of this, sorry. Yum. The less ingredients you have in your house, the less chance things are going to go off. as well as you're spending less on groceries. So some of these things seem a little bit more expensive in the get-go, but when you space it over time and how much functionality you're getting out of it, it's cost effective. It's much more cost effective in my opinion, because you're not having cereals and having thises and that's in the house. If I wanted, let's say Sunday, and I want a different breakfast, I'm going to go protein heavy and go into, making myself some eggs or something like that. Maybe nice and little omelet, something different. Or sometimes I would have, a nice fry up, or some beans, and that would be breakfast instead. But for the most part, this just simplifies my life. And then my next meal, which I can do a video about if you want to know how I go about, I'll have to get some, is bone broth to heal the leaky gut. And sorry if I'm offending anyone out there, but the fact is, if your gut is leaky gut, which means that the lining of your intestines has been out of balance for so long that the bacteria has infiltrated and penetrated through. So you're having a lot of irritable bowel syndrome, and you're having all kinds of, bloating and discomfort, all of those types of things. I would recommend repairing your gut with bone broth, and maybe I can do a video one day and show you how to make the recipe. However, I can just tell you right here, right now, because I have a batch in my fridge. So small bones, poultry bones, I cook in my slow cooker for 24 hours. 24 hours. If you're just cooking it for a few hours, you're just getting the flavor. What you want is the collagen, because the collagen is going to be what's going to restore and heal your gut. And so that's going to prevent all those nasty, negative, abundance of bacteria infiltrating through the lining of your stomach and intestines out into the bloodstream, which then cause all kinds of inflammation and absolute chaos throughout your body. So bone broth, and then the beef bones or big bones, I would cook. First, I would roast in the oven so that they get a nice brown, so they get a nice caramelized color when you cook them in the slow cooker. And literally all I'd cook is the bones and filtered water in my slow cooker. 48 hours for the big bones. And that will help. And so then you have a bone broth. And so here, in here, let's see, I have pre-made out myself some bone broth. So that's all it is. There's nothing else, no other ingredients, just bones to create your bone broth. And this is what you should be eating every single day for lunch to heal. And what I do is I add to this for flavor. So I'll make myself a cupful. Put that on the stove, preferable over microwave. Don't use that if you don't need to. Use always the stove if you can. And then I add in natural sauerkraut, not the vinegared sauerkraut. Make sure it's actually fermented. So natural sauerkraut as a booster, because that has all your pre and probiotics again to heal. So functional eating is all about, what does this particular food do for me? If it doesn't do anything positive for me, then it's not a food that you need to consume if you're trying to heal yourself. Food choices, mastery over your body means mastery over your bottom three chakras. And so the base chakra is all about sex and things like that. And the root chakra, and then the solar plexus as well as sacral is all about your eating and your drinking and what are you consuming. And so you have to master, it's master over your body, not your body mastering you. If your body is craving things, sugary things, high carbohydrate things, and you're trying to succeed on your own awakening and in your own health journey, you're going to be fighting with yourself. So who's going to win? Is it going to be the bacteria in your belly that's going to win, or is it going to be you? Because when you start making functional choices, what does this provide for me? Is the question. Does it provide me with nutrients that I require, or does it provide me with flavor and taste good and I like it? That's not functional eating. That's eating for pleasure. Eating for function, eating for pleasure. Healthy, not healthy. Healthy, healthy, not healthy. So functional eating is how I eat. So bone broth, as I was saying, bone broth, I have a cup of that. I put in a scoop of natural sauerkraut or kimchi. If you like the spicy stuff, throw in a tablespoon or two of kimchi into that mix, and that's your lunch. It's just a homemade broth with one ingredient. So again, very simple. Not a lot of ingredients and expenses there in it. You could, if you wanted to, I suppose, add it per batch. You could add, some green onions, or you could add some garlic, which is good for clearing out the tummy. I personally found when I was trying to clear the body that my body doesn't respond very well because I had the irritable bowel syndrome. It doesn't really respond very well to sulfurous types of foods. So that would be onions and garlic. Those made me gassier. So when I quit those, I had a lot more comfort in my stomach because I wasn't getting gassy. So even broccoli can make some people gassy. And when it came to vegetables, I'm very careful of what vegetables I consume because I don't consume nightshade vegetables. And because the nightshades can have an inflammatory response in your body. So those are a rare treat for me. To like once in a blue moon, I might have a nightshade vegetable, but they're not something that I consume very much at all. And then for dinner, I would have, if I'm going to have 3 meals. Now, I rarely eat 3 meals anymore, to be honest with you. My body doesn't crave it. I eat when I'm hungry, and that's about it. But if I'm having a day where I'm like, oh, I need even more food, I would have protein and a green. Because that's what it provides my body. So that protein source might usually be fish, because I'm trying to increase my omega intake. So fatty fishes. And then snacks throughout the day. I would consume maybe a handful of nuts here or there, or some seeds here or there, or an apple, another source of fruit. Not a lot on your grocery list. If you want to book a one-on-one with me to discuss your dieting plans, and one of the things I'm thinking about doing is creating kind of like a PDF with an outline of a shopping list that I recommend. And it's going to go completely against what everyone else says to you. But what everyone else said to me didn't work. You know, I went to a nutritionist, I went to a diabetes clinic. They told me to eat Diet Coke and not eat avocados. And I was like, I think you're high. I'm going. Because that's crazy. You're telling me to like not eat natural fat, but you're telling me to consume neurotoxins and aspartame? What? I don't think so. So do be very vigilant where you get your information from, and do your own research. And be aware that what works for my body might not work for yours. The more you listen to your body, as I said in another video recently, is, some of you might get pulled into consuming a lot more meats and proteins because that's what your body feels like it needs. And some of you might get pulled into more of a vegan diet, and you have to listen to your body on a spiritual awakening. And to a certain extent, as I said, if the body's craving healthy, functional foods, follow the trend that your body wants. It's not about morals. It's not about ethics. It's not about what some doctor read in a book sometime. It's not anything outside of you. It's literally, you have to listen to your body and work in partnership with your own body. And your own body might completely opposite change. I kind of have I figure that spiritual awakenings are all about taking your beliefs and shoving you into the opposite end. If you're really kind of on one side of the spectrum about something with a really staunch belief, I am this, then spiritual awakenings might come and grab you and be like, yeah, you need to not be so extreme in your thinking and not so black and white, because that's duality. You know, if you're in an energy when it comes to your food of a very dualistic point of view of like, no, I can only do this, or no, I can only do that, what will happen is soul will come along and say, yeah, duality's so age of Pisces. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. It's about uniting and understanding that all things have good and all things have shadow and all things have to come together. So be aware that when it comes to food trends and awakenings, it might look different for everybody based on where you're coming from and what your beliefs are and what your body needs. Those might not always line up with soul. So that all said, I'm gonna go enjoy this now and send you all my absolute love. Peace out.